Hello and welcome to your energy update for the week of March 31st. My name is Wendy Gerhardt. Everything that comes through me is channeled directly from Source Energy, and we are just on the other side of this partial solar eclipse, and it is potent. This week, I have the feeling that we are in for probably the greatest reshuffling, transformative type energy that we have encountered yet. And so, as we move through this, again, give yourself some grace. There's going to be some heightened emotions. The energy body of the emotions is really like picking up speed. I can feel that already. You probably have already felt it. And so, what this reading I really wanted to do is to help you sort of understand some of the themes that the eclipse has more than likely sort of ruffled up in your life. And so that you can get the clarity you need to continue to move in the direction while the windows, right, while the portal of the eclipse is still open. Remember that when you're in these energies are here to help you transform. They are here to help you create these quantum leaps and these shifts by saying, here's what needs to be moved. So it's not energy to be feared, it's energy to actually celebrate and to work with, even though working with it doesn't always feel really great. So use this energy. Again, it's waning now, but still for, the next 2 weeks, it'll still be fairly potent, and then, it'll continue still, and it works in conjunct with other eclipses. Okay, so this week we start off with the Knight of Wands reversed. It comes with rainbow waterfalls, which says miracles, as well as embracing. And I'll let you see these two cards. We have rainbow waterfalls, energy of a 3, 1, 31, or a 4. And then we have embracing, and these are some wetlands here. And we've got a bird here. So when we talk about, okay, so let's talk about this. So Knight of Wands reversed. It feels like perhaps their ego. Okay, it feels like there perhaps is some egoic energy. This sort of like mm, energy of responsibility is what I'm feeling. It feels like this energy of, um, okay, it's unclear right now. Like it's very weird. Okay. Uh, they're saying to move on to these. Okay, so I think this is going to continue to unveil itself through the rest of these cards. So when we're talking about water that's moving, okay, we're definitely talking about the emotional body here, and when we're talking about like movement of water, moving the emotions, especially when it's coming like at a waterfall, then it's even more intensified. So we have emotions, intense emotions, sort of disruptive emotions that are being moved. It's here to be cleared, to be moved. However, and you could see here, right, as it's making its journey, a lot of times as water comes over the edge, it doesn't know, right? Water is just moving. It's just a moving. And then, oh, there's a massive drop. Now, at the end of this journey, you're going to see there's a stillness. We've got some butterflies here. Again, this metamorphosis, this transformation, as well as this sort of flight energy, freedom energy. We've got a rainbow coming in. When we've got rainbows, we're talking about miracles. We're talking about a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. We're talking about, that there is really great, positive, abundant things that are waiting on the other side of this particular movement or shift. And so now we also here have wetlands. That's what it looks like to me. And so, a lot of times when these are like the lands that are like right next to like a river, right? I think it's a river, a marsh. I'm not really sure. And so they tend to kind of spoil, the water kind of spills over onto the land. Now, the cool thing about that is it usually is very fertile. It's like super fertile. You'll see that like they've got all kinds of grass and all kinds of things kind of sprouting up over there. But we've got some water that is kind of spilling over into the land, so to say, so onto the earth. We're dealing with the root chakra here. We're dealing with also the sacral, the second energy, the first energy body, and perhaps how they have been influenced by some energies that feel a little bit reckless, that feel a little bit overconfident, that feel a little, it's this ego, right? My ego, my ego, my ego. Um, and so, of course, when we're talking about this bird, this is also, when we talk about birds, we talk about feathers, this is very much about um, freedom energy, about flying above the larger picture, right? Movement. And so I'm hearing a lot of that movement, 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 movement. We're moving this energy, any of this like frustration, this overconfident, sort of arrogant energy. And this feels like this could also be related. This could also be familial. So perhaps there might be like a father figure. It could also be a mother figure, but it feels more oh, okay. So I'm getting this like very masculine, regal kind of like energy that perhaps has been clouded, like this divine masculine energy that has been sort of clouded by a patriarchal system that has painted it to look a certain way. And it's like the masculine is trying to reclaim himself, reclaim. And of course, because there's so much emotionally tied to this idea of the patriarchy. It is both an issue of belief system and boundaries. And so I'm hearing very much around the boundaries, and it is both. It is not one or the other, it is both. And so the masculine very much wanting to come back into the light, wanting to be seen in that sort of more regal sense, is really trying to come back into not harmony, balance. It is specifically balance with the feminine. And so it feels like there's a little bit of this going on, a little bit of turbulent energy. And the emotions are really going to be guiding this shift. Okay, so then we have the Five of Wands. So again, five energy, lots of change going on. Wands again, this is very spirit. Yes, spirit. Very air, very mental plane kind of energy. And even with this Knight of Wands, again, the wands also the air, so it feels like emotion. We're trying to balance our emotions with our mind here, coming back into balance. um and we talk about the Five of Wands. This is also like clashing of the egos. This is very competitive energy. So perhaps a discord, a power struggle, an inner power struggle, perhaps even an outer power struggle that's being mirrored to you in some of your relationships. This actually does look like this is very hereditary, as in like in the bloodline, deep cellular wounding, highlighted again by the waterfall energy. And then we have here ancient oak spirit strength card, and we have simplicity here. Okay, so I'm hearing again the word balance, which feels like we're clearing again this energy of competition, this energy of like power struggle, of like either the feminine or the masculine. Either I'm intuitive or I'm logical. Either I'm in charge, I'm the alpha, or you're the alpha. Either I'm, it's like this hierarchy, right? This sort of like hierarchy, like fighting to be the best, fighting to get heard. Like it's this very sort of disruptive, chaotic energy that is very much rooted between the dynamics, if we go back all the way to the sea point, between the masculine and the feminine, and the belief that like one has to be obedient to the other. And so again, bringing the strength, like remember, you are rooted, you are strong. However, balance remembers that one strong gust of wind and something that is too rigid will break. So we are strong and we can handle the wind. But if we try to be too strong, we actually become inflexible and we will break. So it is learning to bring to balance this, that what feels like this, like holding on to my center, holding on to my power, holding on to prove a point, right? I got to prove a point. I got to prove that like I am strong. So there's this very like proving energy. Again, very sort of what we would consider to be egoic energy. Um, and needing to be on top. And again, this is conflict energy. So this feels like it's all being cleared out. It's all being brought to the surface. There is likely, like I said, both, and this brings it back to this. There is both. There is the mindset and the emotion. And likely the emotion is what's going to trigger you into what the hell is going on here. And the emotion is going to be like, you're like, it's going to be big. So you're going to have to sit with this big emotion, but recognize this is a boundary and a belief issue. And so, again, reclaiming some of this energy and allowing the masculine to sort of re-rise into his regal energy, into his noble energy, and allow the new structure that you create to support you when you go through big emotions, to support you as you move through these big emotions, and not necessarily to think that the logic is wrong. Let it have a place. Okay. So if you're someone who's super, super intuitive and you have been really resisting structure, really resisting like any of these like masculine type things, you're being real strong in your point of view, but being that strong will cause you to break. And vice versa, on the opposite, right? If you're someone who's really like logic, 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 reason, it needs to make sense, it has to look like this, and you're not allowing the intuition to come in and speak. And as I said, that I'm getting very raspy, so we've got a lot going on the throat. Then, once again, right? That's just being a computer. If you're not allowing the emotions are what bring you to life. There's no life in the absence of them. So it's balancing this with simplicity. So we talk about feathers, right? And we talk about like the ancient Egyptians and the Native Americans that they would often wear the feathers in their crown, I guess you could say, on their head. And it usually means some sort of communication with spirit. And so if we see here strength, which we would recognize very much with perhaps a very masculine protector energy, and then we bring in this like communication to spirit, it is these two cards coming together that are clearing. They're working as a team. Okay? They're working as a team to clear this egoic, this conflict, this competitive, this proving, this forcing energy that has been present not just in you, but in your familial line. And this could come across also as like over responsibility. I need to fix everything, trying to meet everyone's expectations. It could come across like that as well. Sorry, I have this something here that I can't get off. It's not going to go. Okay, so they are coming back together. Okay, so then we have the death card reversed. This is the death card's the energy of a 13 or a 4. So again, we've got a lot going on in the heart space. And so as opposed to this being like death, typically transformation, this feels like we're clearing out stagnation. Whatever has been keeping you from the transformation is what is being cleared. And this also feels like perhaps some fears, some patterns that have been circling. If you're someone who has been dealing with, fear of like getting sick or actually getting sick, money issues or fear of money issues. So it's like I have it or I have the fear of it. It feels like both of these things are really trying to be cleared. It's being cleared off marriages and relationships, off of health, off of money. What else? Off of spiritual gifts, off of direction, clarity. Okay. Anything else? Okay. And then this is coupled with, we have bluebird spirit here, and this is very much spring vibes, right? This is like spring vibes here. Happiness is the energy that is coming in. We've got the bird, which is freedom, very colorful, very creative, is sitting on the strong branch, and in the background, we have, we've got a deer here, right? This is the energy of 7. So a very balanced, internal, structured sort of spiritual awakening, enlightenment energy with the flowers in the background, which are kind of a pinkish color. So sort of like higher heart energy. And so it feels like this is coming in, spring energy. Everything that you have been planting is blooming, okay? It is coming out, it is blooming, and this is what's happening simultaneously with the movement of the stagnation, okay? The stagnation, the death, the purification, the lost hope, the despair, the all of these really sort of like icky, negative beliefs and emotions are both. So, before, like last week was very mental plane. This week, it's like we're not just working in one plane anymore. Now we're working on the whole thing. We're coming back together into wholeness. And this is with flexibility. Okay, so interesting because this is also what I got here. So it feels like, again, we're working with both energies here. It feels like they're both have a message, right? As the bluebirds kind of like chirp and sing and the sounds of spring and all of the things are blooming and all the unseen things are now becoming seen. And then we have flexibility because we have bamboo here. We have a very strong, fierce, protective tiger here energy. And what do we have? Bamboo. So bamboo is one of those trees, right, that it does not really bend. I mean, bend. It doesn't really break. It bends. It like moves. It's so flexible. So we've got, that would be more of like a feminine type energy held within a masculine structure. So it feels like, again, the masculine and the feminine coming back together to really help to clear some of these like things that have probably been missed opportunities, feeling like failure in a relationship, disease, like a lot of things. It feels like this week, like I said, I could feel that there's going to be a lot of clearing. It's like spring cleaning. Okay, like everything fire sale. We're in Aries, right? We're in that solar eclipse in Aries. Fire sale, it's all gotta go. All of this has gotta go. Clean it out. Time to clean house. Okay, now we have Eight of Wands reverse. We have all wands. Do we have all wands? And we have the Death card. We've got all wands. Eight of Wands. And again, Eight of Wands is delay. Oftentimes, like not taking action. So perhaps we're clearing off some of the things that have been in the way that have kept you in opposition to doing the thing you need to do to move, to shift into this new identity, to shift into this new timeline, to shift these beliefs, to shift into a greater degree of unity or wholeness. Okay. And this is coupled with Forest Temple, Enlightenment. And you see we've got the priestess there, we've got the temple, we've got the chalice, we've got the trees, we have the sun with the directions, the energy of 19, which is a 10, which is again regal masculine reclamation. Space is being held by the feminine for the regal masculine reclamation. So she is holding space for him to once again rise, coming more into light, coming more into there's beautiful. I'm just feeling like there's this like beautiful, amazing, abundant, glorious gold at the end of the rainbow kind of energy that is getting ready to come in. Like this is it. This is the week. This is when it all is going to come. Oh, I just got like really big. This is the week when it's like all coming to an end, when it's the final, this is the final match, this is the final showdown kind of a thing before the new beginning. And then, man, once again, we got some waterfalls. We got some waterfalls here. This one seems a little bit smaller. We have birds that are flying, colorful birds, colorful flowers, adventure. we begin again. This really feels like, and now it's time for the next iteration. And now it is time for the next story. Now we begin again, and the adventure continues kind of energy. So much beautiful, amazing, like, make it through this week is what I'm hearing. Do it intentionally, really use the energy, really, really, really try to work with it, really, really, really try to be conscious and intentional to clear as much of this as you can. It's gonna set the stage wherever you end. It's not like if you don't, that it's the end of the world. It's okay. It's just gonna set the stage for like the new chapter. Okay? It sets the stage for the new chapter. So it's kind of like, let's go. But at the same time, this is a move, let's go kind of energy. And it's also move with intention. Don't move from pressure, move from purpose. Don't make decisions from force or from trying or from expectation. Do it from alignment. Do it from expansion. So it's like, here is the stage. Here is what we're clearing. Here's what's on the table. Are you ready to take them off? Are you ready to see things differently? Are you ready to hold new boundaries? Are you ready to hold these big emotions? Are you ready to step up in this way? Are you ready to bring the masculine into more into your life? Are you ready to let the feminine hold space? So it's kind of like we've been working, we've been working, we've been working. This is a week. This is the week. Allow it to clear as much as you're available to, as much as you're ready to, right? You never want to force yourself into anything, but lots in the mental plane, lots in the emotional plane, again within the throat. Spring is in the air. Wow. Okay. So make sure you're being really, really present with yourself, especially if you're going to experience, it seems like we're probably going to be experiencing some big emotions. You probably have already been experiencing some big emotions, right? Now, it's not about not experiencing them. It's about understanding how to move through them. It's understanding how to let the masculine help you do that. And it's not that you aren't going to have super challenging beliefs. It's about how can you let your body help you with that. So learning to work together to create this new identity that is going to be the next iteration. Quantum leaps are available. They are on the table. There's a pot of gold waiting for those of you who are ready to claim it. Okay, that is the energy for this week. Today, ta-da, is the day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me at I am Wendy Gerhart. I have created 7 wealth frequency archetypes. Okay, these archetypes are designed to help you discover and identify your unique wealth frequency. There is a quiz that when you sign up, gets sent to you in your email. You take the quiz. It lets you know what archetype you have, and then it breaks down the different archetypes as well as some crystals you could work with, as well as some mantras and some embodiment practices. I will put the link down here below, as well as it will be in my Instagram. Go take the quiz, find out your wealth frequency, unlock your wealth code. Amazing things are on the future because, as we can already tell just from this energy, abundance is here for those ready to claim it. All right, I will see you next week. If you got some value out of this, please make sure to hit like, subscribe, share this, and I'll see you on the next energy update.